Amazon Echo device. Alexa, play Rock 102.1 KFMA.
You say it, I'll play it.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Tuesday, July 2nd. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
And good morning, Arizona, especially. Good morning, Arizona. That's a new show. Good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show, especially those of you who are waking up early and working this week, when many of you don't this week. This is a big vacation week for most of the country. And rightfully so. But if you're still getting up and grinding with us, you're not alone. We're here with you. But I want to say congratulations because we already made it through the first half of the year. Yesterday was officially the first half of the year. In hindsight, in retrospect, if you're going to look back at the first 6 months of 2024 for personal accomplishments of yourself, Rico, what would you be most proud of?
Not dying.
Yeah, that's always accomplishment. And unfortunately, there are some people who did not, make it this far. In fact, actually, there was an in memoriam that's causing controversy. It just happened on Sunday night at the BET Awards because they did their in memoriam of all the people that passed away in 2024 and 2023, the latter half. And they mentioned OJ and had a big moment of OJ in the in memoriam, right, at the BET Awards. So obviously, there's some people that are upset about this, mainly the Browns and the Goldmans are not too happy about OJ getting the 5-star salute and send-off at the BET Awards.
Did they at least pause the music?
No.
Like not even have the nice music play it for him?
Yeah.
Like real quick slideshow?
No. There was a big pause, and, there's a couple... Everyone held up, lit candles at that time, held it up high in the sky. No, I didn't see it. But producers of the Sunday Night's BET Awards made the very questionable call to include OJ in their in memoriam segment. And Ron's father, Fred Goldman, said, I think they shouldn't include anyone of that caliber, and then he listed OJ's resume without including the Heisman Trophy. He mentioned things like wife beater murderer. I can't imagine why they would, include someone like that. And it's Nicole Brown Simpson. Tanya said it's inappropriate to give him abuser and murderer recognition. And they got a point there. They didn't put Diddy in memoriam, even though he didn't physically pass away. His career did. A lot of things have happened as far as like the death in 2024. The first 6 months, Diddy has had basically his cancel year. Several things happened with Diddy from the fallout of the video and all the allegations that are going against him. Allegations have been around for years, but just recently has had, physical evidence of. He had his honorary doctorate from, I think, Howard University taken away. Yep. And did you know that there was a Diddy Day in Miami?
I had no idea.
That's right. Well, there was no longer. They took that away too.
Canceled
they said
Diddy Day.
Yeah, they said no Diddy Day for you. So unfortunately, there's only one island that you could actually celebrate Diddy Day on now in the entire world. That's Epstein Island, but they don't have that necessarily generally open to the public. So
it's a little quieter now. Yeah,
it is a little quieter. So he's the only one there. Sitting in his, I imagine, like robe and open-toe sandals.
Sipping on Mai Tai.
Yeah, and crying. That's the only way. If you want to go celebrate Diddy Day, Epstein Island is the place to go. And maybe Carnival will make that a stop on one of their cruises. But for now, it's just Diddy on that island. Here's an interesting stat. And I want to know which one you are. Okay. So as far as, actually, that's going to be for tomorrow's show. I'll do it anyways.
What a tease.
I know. Okay. So 49% of Americans think they should get a full week off around the 4th of July. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yes, I agree too. Includes 61% of younger workers. 45% say that they'll barely get any work done this week anyways. Right? Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yes, I agree too. And that's why the opening segment's over. Let's half-ass
Yes.
it. In fact, I'll give you barely any ass. 10% ass today. Your morning moron coming up after Blink. I'll probably squeeze in an extra song. So much no ass. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what that meant this morning, but welcome back to the podcast broadcast. We got Holly Hilton joining us again. Last I saw Holly, she was killing it in front of the entire Roadrunners fan base for a little hockey and comedy night, and that was a good time. You have a good time that night?
I had a great time shoving the little inflatable chair out from under my friend Elena.
Yeah, there was a little inflatable chair there too.
Well,
Oh
we did
yeah,
the
no,
on
I
the
got you
ice,
on the
the-
ice. Yeah, yeah.
It played musical chairs, and I was not going. I had 0 Fs, so
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you put up a
Yeah.
good fight. I don't think you won though.
I did not.
Yeah.
But I did not. I wasn't going to
You
win to
didn't
the bed,
lose.
but I wasn't going to lose in the first round.
Yes, and that was fantastic too. And I tried to make it was one of those VIP experiences. Like you come out and you perform for these people and stuff. I'll get you on the glass, I'll get you on the ice, get you in front of people, get you paid. So I'd like to thank the Roadrunners for that. We'll see what happens with this next season, which we are going to have, and I think we'll probably have another comedy night. So be ready. You got another clean set prepared?
I am down.
Good. Yeah. And of course, we got Holly in because she's going to be part of Lady Bits happening again at the Screen Room this Saturday night. So that'll be a fun comedy show. I like the Screening Room as far as comedy shows are concerned because good acoustics, it's comfortable, it's, intimate, and there's a bar. It's big stage. The bar is an important thing. I just had Ashley Tappet in last week, and she was doing a show at the playground on Last Sunday Laughs, which is something that's like a new thing.
Right.
And, it's too open. It's like, we got to get there. I mean, obviously, when you're starting any comedy night, it's a slow roll.
Yeah.
So she posted pictures, and the setup looked great, but it also looked like, 15 people, but spread out. And so, like, if you get a laugh, you're like, what's that? Did you laugh over there? That was funny, right?
I see you.
Yeah. I think I heard you laughing. I see what looks like laughing. I can't hear it, but that's good. I think you're enjoying what I'm doing here, right?
Moto Sonora does some patio shows.
Yeah.
And they're great. Everybody loves doing those shows because it's just it's outside. So you're doing comedy under the stars, but it's intimate too. So
Okay. And do they kind of pack it in there so you could hear the laughs? You could feel
Yeah.
the laughs kind of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing worse than, saying something that is resonating with a crowd and you could visibly see them laughing, but you can't necessarily hear them, When
Just
that,
the judging eyes
yeah,
staring into your soul.
right. See,
Great
normally when I
in
attempt to
3D.
stand up and stuff, I mean, I don't hear anything at all, but I don't see them laughing either. It's more of like how Rico is. It's just like kind of
Arms
like
crossed,
arms crossed,
staring.
a little smile, like, this fucking idiot thinks he's funny or something, huh? That's a,
I paid
Let's see how long this
$7.
goes.
I paid $7 for a White Claw. This better be funny.
So when I do improv, we get a lot of the smiley watchy people and not the laughy clappy kind.
yes.
So we have to tell them, no, it's okay to laugh. It's really okay.
Yeah,
Please laugh.
I know. And that's definitely not a sign that it's not that funny, right? We told audience it's okay to laugh. Like, no, I know. I came out for that sole purpose. I'm ready for it.
By internal guffaws.
I did a show a couple years ago, and it was at Tucson Improv Movement, which is it's a nice small room.
Yeah, Tim.
But the headliner had brought the cast of the crew of a reality show with him.
Oh,
These people were making like a Gordon Ramsay reality show, and they were the audience. And they were there for him. I went up first, and crickets, like even the crickets weren't having it. It was quiet. Like my watch congratulated me for low decibels.
yeah.
And then my friend Amy was working the bar, and she texted me, and I was sitting there just like questioning all my life choices. And she texted me, and she's like, "Oh man, they cannot stop talking about you." I was like, "Well, tell them they could have laughed."
Yeah. So they
That
were
would've
all saying
helped.
positive
Yeah.
things, murmuring it behind your back, saying how much they loved you, but didn't give you that instant gratification.
Yep.
I know. I mean, it is a
Ay,
tough
ay.
gig sometimes too when you do that. And we relate to that too, because when you're doing radio and you try to say something funny, you don't know, right? Because you don't get that instant gratification. That's why I do like to load up the chairs here in the studio so we can get some actual laughs and when you're onto something. But some of the weirdest things I'll get quoted on for things that I said will be like throwaways where I didn't even think it was funny at the time.
Right.
And then someone will be like, "Oh, that was hilarious." And
You're like, was it?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
More of that.
You like that? That didn't have to do with dicks or farts, and it was funny. Weird. Somebody's calling, so let's go to the phone right now. And no, that's fine. That's good. We don't need to
Never
derail
mind.
that. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get started with our lead story. Did the Simpsons predict the Hawk Tuah girl? And I know, Anthony, I could already hear you. You know, you're like, fucking Hawk Tuah girl again. Give me a break. And legitimately, I know it's a little too much, and it's only been 1 week. You know, and this is how big it's been. I mean, yesterday we featured her. She literally got on stage at a Zach Bryan concert in Nashville, Tennessee. Jumped on drunken karaoke style. She's only 21 years old. There's a lot of misconceptions of the backstory of the Hawk Tuah girl. And in fact, apparently I'm talking
backstories in the Joker, dude.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, apparently I've talked about her so much that, you know, even Frankie Monsta tagged me up in this interview clip that she had yesterday. Here, let's find out what the deal is. This is Haley. Her name is Haley Welch, and she clears up some of the common misconceptions that people are saying about her after her viral fame.
On my social media like 6 months ago, due to like personal reasons, I never really got on it or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But,
So it didn't have anything to do with this.
oh no, I was long gone before that.
Oh, so you were already gone from social
Oh,
media,
yeah.
and everyone thought that you
Oh,
deleted
yeah.
your social media because you were like scared of all of this blowing up, but you were
Yeah.
gone.
I've been gone from it.
So
Like, I
are
just
you going to
didn't
come
have
back?
I've been gone.
I think we're working on that right now.
Because you have a full management team. You have a manager now.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
a shooter. She comes in with like this big ass camera. Like she's the real deal. Already, this happened like a week ago. What were you doing for your job?
Well, I have to sit up and get ready for about 30 minutes, and then I'll just go on and go get me something to eat for breakfast, and then I'll go into work. But I worked in a spring factory. I'm not a school teacher.
That was my next question because
Or a
everyone said that you
bartender.
were a teacher and got fired from your job.
No, I'm not even old enough to be a teacher.
I was gonna say because you're 21. I'm like, this is illegal. Who
exactly.
are you teaching?
Exactly.
So you weren't
Yeah.
a teacher.
Or a bartender.
So
Either one.
and also I've heard rumors that your dad is a preacher.
My father is so far from a preacher. It's crazy.
So everything
little
has just been
offended.
made up.
Oh, yeah. Like, none of
Okay.
it's true at all.
All right,
Did you delete?
That was Haley Welch, aka the Hawk Tuah girl.
God,
clearing
breaking
up
up
some
with
of
Triple H,
the
China
miscon-
appeared live on Raw and called out the game. Triple H marched towards the
What
ring
the-
when
what is
suddenly
that?
Kane decided to join them.
Anyways,
China-
yeah. So that was a video clip that I was also tagged in yesterday because we have questions. Inquiring
Fact
minds
checks.
want to know. But you know, the takeaway from this: she's only 21 years old. People thought she was 23. They thought she was a teacher. She is not. She worked in a spring factory in Tennessee, which I didn't know that was an actual job. What's her
She's a
job?
factory worker.
She's a factory.
What?
Hot ass 21-year-old
Yeah.
factory worker.
Just making springs. You know.
Who went viral for her sexual technique that is literally common knowledge. You know, I mean, Holly, were you shocked when you heard the Hawk Tuah? Like, oh, I didn't know that's something that you do.
What's your
Or-
hot take?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a natural form of the devil, you say.
What incarnation?
Yeah. So the latest thing though is a lot of people are online saying the Simpsons predicted this Hawk Tuah girl, and you might remember this classic episode. It came out in 1992.
Jeez.
Yeah, and of course, you know the Simpsons have produced or predicted a lot of future events in their 35 seasons on the air. I feel like this might be a stretch, but I don't know. I'm going to play
If
this
you're
clip
saying
for
that,
you.
it's a stretch.
Well,
Let's
we'll
see.
see. So this happened in 92. The episode was New Kid on the Block, where Bart gets a neighbor named Laura, voiced by Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne and the Connors. Okay. And Laura plays a trick on Bart, claiming that she's going to read his palm. And if you don't recall, it went a little something like this. Okay. So this is the
Oh,
original
my
Hawk
God.
Tuah girl.
Were we? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell your fortune.
Huh?
Oh man, you're gonna be rich.
Whoa.
There's your mansion. There's the tennis court. And there's the swimming pool. See you later, Bart.
Oh, Hawk Tuah. She just spit on that thing, Rico. Do you see? See, she spit on Bart's thing, his palm thing.
There's definitely a correlation there. Absolutely. Sexual connotation and all.
Yeah.
Wash this hand again.
Were we?
Yeah, and he did, and he hasn't washed his hands since.
She works in
So-
Springfield, a Springfield factory.
connections.
Mm.
You know, absolutely.
You connect the dots.
Yeah, dude.
Dot.
Yeah, so she spit on that thing. It drove Bart wild. And, you know, that's what Haley Welch said. It would drive a man wild. I mean, even though it was a different appendage, it still counts.
Still counts.
Yeah. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily qualify as a legit prediction, but it
You
will
know
hold
what they
up.
were laying down, though.
Yeah.
You know what they were trying to
dude.
say.
You when they're, you know, supplying the swim pool,
Mhm.
and she spit on that. She spit on that thing,
It's,
Rico.
you know, hawk tooth.
Is
Yeah.
it a prediction though, or is it the fact that, you know, her parents have had The Simpsons on every day of her life in her short 21 years?
Are you saying that Haley Welch, aka Hawk Tuah girl, learned all of her sexual tricks from watching The Simpsons growing up?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
Wow.
saying.
It's a hot
Facts.
take.
Yeah, that is a hot take. That's how we're starting off the show. The podcast broadcast is live. You can join us, youtube.com/pvegan. We'll be back with more right after new music from The Ashes to New. Here's Barely Breathing on Rock 1 2.1.
Can
So-
I make a gentleman's bet with you?
Yes, please.
A year from now, set your alarm and see if we can get Hawk to a girl on a year later.
A year from now
On the
should be
downfall.
very obtainable.
Yeah.
Not only just for interviews, but maybe even dating in real life. I will say this because I was saying this yesterday, and this is so cyclical in the way that America does celebrity,
Yeah.
right? We build someone up, you know, as a culture just to tear them down, right? So right now, this rocket ship strapped to her, you know, young, tight 21-year-old ass
Yeehaw!
right through the atmosphere.
Stratosphere.
It's like I could see the hatred coming for this girl from a mile away, and they are going to do everything to just completely destroy it. I feel bad for her. Right now, you want to feel like, oh, look, she hit the lottery. She's getting to meet all these celebrities, and she's getting represented by talent agencies and shit. I mean, it's a big deal.
She should have played the card, the guy that did the North of Richmond guy, the country singer guy.
Yeah.
And be like, I don't want the fame.
Well, the reality
don't
is
want it.
you forgot his name.
Exactly. But no, he came back later and signed to an agency later on. So he's playing that card smart. She should have done the same thing. Like, I don't deserve the fame.
He probably
I'm
got
just
less.
I'm just a spring factory girl.
I think if we want to see where Hawk Tuah girl is going to be in 10 years, we just need to look up the Cash Me Outside girl, see where she's at today,
Making
which is
millions.
probably outside
Balling.
of Circle K.
No, she's
No.
balling. She's
Yeah.
balling.
Oh, come on.
I subscribed to her for a year now. She's killing it.
Let me tell you about the Cash Me Outside girl. First off, her name's Bad Body.
Bobby.
Bad Body.
Bobby.
But whatever. Bad Baby. Bad Baby.
Baby.
Bad Baby. That's how it's spelled. She ended up transitioning her fame into like a mumble rap career. Then transitioned that into OnlyFans, which Hawk Tuah girl will definitely go down that path. And then has made so much money. She's literally generated over $100 million in net worth. And yes.
She spoke at Harvard or whatever speech they had recently.
Did she?
I swear to God, there was like an article about her doing some commencement speech.
Bad Barbie.
Bad Bobby.
Let's see. Bad Bod. It's hard to
It's in
pronounce her
your.
name 'cause-
It's in your. Come on. It's in
Yeah,
your,
don't
it's in your
worry.
post
I
history.
got it.
Well, color me stunned because I was expecting her to be like doing appearances for the promise of a hot meal. Not
No.
even the meal, just the promise of the hot meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is let's
No,
see.
she's killing it. She's like,
She is murdering it. I don't see anything about a commencement speech, but maybe we'll pull
I'll
that
find it.
up here. Yeah, please do, because I need to hear that. The fact that they
speaks
would
at
give
Oxford. Yeah.
at Oxford when she didn't even graduate high school or probably even get a GED, the lack of education in this girl is astounding. And if she's speaking in a commencement speech at Oxford, it's like this is where we're at as a society. Like, holy
She's
shit.
an entrepreneur,
She is an
a
entrepreneur.
businesswoman.
Just from showing pictures
Boss
of
babe.
her butt, I don't even think she's showing areola, Holly.
What a
I don't
sin.
think she's showing areola.
Not the
You
areolas.
got to save something for, you know, when you finally hit like 30. Because
Yes.
is she like, what, 25 now?
Sure, we're talking about Bad Bobby, Bad Baby,
Baby,
whatever.
Bobby,
It's Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. Because Holly tried to make an example of like, you know, where are they now type status of these one-hit wonders, and she made the absolute worst, example.
Reference.
She chose the Oprah of thoughts. It's pretty much what happened because the Bad Baby is so rich that
Cash
she's
me outside, girl. She says.
yeah, she's
Like, oh.
generationally rich. And oh my God, yes, Rico just sent me a link that she did do a commencement speech at Oxford. So is this going to be in the future for the Hawk Tuah girl? Potentially, if she has an OnlyFans as well. That's what happened with that. So I wonder if there's a video of her giving this commencement speech, we're watching it
It's
on
probably
the
on the
podcast
OnlyFans. There's a
broadcast.
paywall for it.
Potentially. Potentially, for sure. But before we get into that, let's get into some radio content, shall we? Here's a TMI top 5. These are, let's see, where was I at here? Oh, top 5 things that used to be common but sort of vanished. Okay, so if you think about it, these things, these trends, they kind of come and go. Can you think of something off the top of your head that you're like, hey, I used to use this all the time, and now I haven't seen this or thought of this in forever?
Calling people.
Well, okay.
Using the telephone.
Yeah, I mean, that's a behavior, but not necessarily a thing.
Like
right.
transitional technology, like
Yeah.
VCRs or iPods.
Right. Yes. I mean, those have been around or not been around for quite some time now. But I do have a list here, courtesy of BuzzFeed, that will give you the top 5 things. Now, this is a thing that's kind of a behavior, but paid lunch breaks. Okay. So apparently the 9 to 5 used to be 8 hours. You got a lunch break in the middle. But a lot of companies in the freest country of the world, with the least amount of vacation days, which we recently found out, switched from 9 to 6. So at some point, everyone just took it on the chin. Yes. What is, do you have a 9 to 5er there, Holly?
Yeah, I work from home, work 6:30 to 3, which means that half-hour lunch break that I never take because I'm sitting on my couch anyway.
Right.
Not paid.
Yep. See, this is a big business. He does that. It's messed up. So
You know what they can't take away from you, though?
What's that?
Those bathroom breaks.
Not yet.
Mhm.
They will. They'll put a catheter on your ass, dude. Yeah.
You know who doesn't need to use the restroom? AI.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
dang.
Yeah. And they are taking all the jobs, like a voiceover in movies. That's something that we don't get anymore. It used to be common, but voiceovers in movie trailers. It seems like none of them have one now. And if you don't believe me, go look up at a recent movie trailer and see if there's a voiceover. Coming in July, it was a dinosaur and it made love to a frog.
What's it called? I'm excited now.
Jurassic Hop.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true. I kind of miss that. We should bring that back.
I know.
The voiceover guy.
Voiceover guy. This guy, maybe he made too much money. He had bad baby status. Picture in picture as a feature on TVs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that was all the
Damn, I'm
rage.
old.
We were watching 2 things at once. It was fantastic.
You're so cool when you figured that out.
Yeah.
Like, check this out, guys.
Now we have the TV on in the background while we scroll through our phone. So who needs picture in picture?
Yep.
This one, I made this joke earlier to Holly because she drove in a smart car for 2. And I was like, that seems like that was a prize in cereal box. In a cereal box. Well, prize in cereal boxes. Some boxes do it, but good luck trying to find a good prize in a cereal box nowadays.
Can we blame that on The Simpsons because of the Rusty Crustio that Bart swallowed and infected?
It could.
Damn
Well,
it.
you know what? Honestly,
Damn it, Bart.
that storyline did come from actual headlines of kids actually, hurting themselves with toys. This is why we can't have good things, because stupid children swallow inanimate objects, and then they're just like, sorry.
Well, but kids don't want to play with tangible things anyway. So all you need is a QR code on the cereal box that goes to a video game. You're done.
100%. So that's what they said here. Most likely, they mostly switched to QR codes where you get a link to a mobile app. Yeah, but I still want tangible things. Give me that temporary tattoo. I stopped eating Cracker Jacks because they stopped putting temporary tattoos inside Cracker Jacks.
They stopped doing that?
Yeah, dude.
Bastards.
I know. It's a QR code thing as well. And it's like Cracker Jacks is all about the little prize. I get that it was like basically a piece of paper, but it was still something. You can reveal it. Now, in fact, actually, they don't put prizes inside of food items, but they'll sell essentially prizes because they do mystery boxes and stuff. Kids today, dude, all of them, like you go to any toy aisle, half the stuff you don't even know what you're buying. You're just gambling, dude. And kids love it.
They love it.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese looking at you.
Yeah. And that's where they develop their gambling habits and their lotto ticket buying habits that they'll have as adults.
They know what they're doing.
Here's something else that maybe I can afford one of these now. And I did see, I think Valdez bought these recently, but you don't see them anywhere. It's those shoes with wheels in them. They're called Heelys. They're still around.
They're
You can probably find them at Ross in Burlington, but you won't find them in a shoe store in the mall. That's for sure. They're just not as huge as they were. Had you ever rocked some Heelys?
I did once or twice back in the day.
Really?
I would do it again. Get those numbers, baby.
Oh, you got numbers? Wall rocking Heelys?
Oh, hell yeah. I'll get my Walkman out, do the Heelys.
You're not that old.
At Park Place.
or not that young. Either way, yeah. So those are the top 5 things that used to be common that sort of vanished. Let's continue the conversation on the podcast broadcast. There, we'll check out a commencement speech from Bad Bobby. I can't even say her name. Whatever.
Cash me outside.
The Cash Me Outside girl. We'll be back with more after music from Foo Fighters. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Do they, speaking of things that aren't happening anymore, do they do the oops, all berries? Do they announce those anymore? Remember back in the day, Captain Crunch, they would have like a corporate error where some idiot factory worker was drunk and put all the berries in there.
Yeah.
Like, screw it. We're just going to label it all berries now, baby.
All berries. Yep. I'm pretty sure they still have that.
I hope so.
I did. I caved and I bought a box cereal just recently because it was $1.99. It was Honey Nut Cheerios. I haven't opened it yet, but I haven't eaten cereal in a while. And a lot of it was only because of my my lactose intolerance you develop as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
But I also got almond milk, so I'm like, I could fuck with the Cheerios.
Ooh,
yeah, I haven't.
Silk.
Yeah. All right, look at her. She actually looks successful as hell.
Put on a suit.
Yeah, this was the girl who went viral for being out of control on Dr. Phil, obviously. Good morning, Stormy. Good to see you. Oh, I got your email, by the way. Thank you very much for the compliment. So Bad Bobby is the worst example as far as where they now type deals because she is extremely successful. Most recently, they say Miss Bergoli. They even call her by her last name.
Bergoli.
With help of American artists like Kodak Black and Lil Yachty, has embarked on a music career under her stage name. And this is her talking at Oxford. The 19-year-old internet sensation was greeted with a rapturous applause. She walked into the hall and sat down to be interviewed. So, like
Oxford.
Yeah. At her Oxford Union address, Bad Baby said that she wanted to help young hustlers starting their own business. She said this at Oxford University. And she didn't say it with a hard R either. She said, I want to help my young hustlers. Us. Yes. Sir, the businesswoman gave the speech 24 hours before a female education activist, Nobel Peace Prize winning Malala Yousafzai.
See, I told you this happened, man. I told you.
I know.
This is real life.
That was the lineup.
How bad Oxford is. They're like, we have some of the greatest talents in the world. We can no, we got a good one for you. Bad Bobby. I think we'll take it.
Yeah, Bad Baby.
Bad Baby.
It's hard to pronounce her name because she spells it. The way she spells it is BHAD. BHABIE.
Okay, but which one of them got shot in the face and bounced back? Malala.
That's true. That's true. I didn't know anything about that or even Milan, but I know everything about Bad Baby. America. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see her at Oxford.
She was the next day. That's a
Milan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, that's what
I thought she was Stanford. My bad.
No. That's what we said in the piece there.
All the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah. So let's see. Bad Baby. Well, there's no commencement speech. Oh, so let's see what the net worth is of Bad Baby, by the way.
I don't even want to know.
Oh, no, you want to know.
I don't.
I think it just, if suffice to say, she does not need to worry about whether or not her lunch break is paid.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, she probably skips a lot of meals doing full-blown porn. As of 2024, Bad Baby, known as the Danielle Bergoli, has an estimated net worth of only $20 million. She gained initial fame from her appearance on Dr. Phil, which led to her viral catchphrase, Cash Me Outside. Transitioning from viral fame to a music career, she released a debut single, These Hoes, in 2017, making her the youngest female rapper to debut on the Billboard Hot 100. Her music career includes successful singles like Hi Bitch and Gucci Flip Flops.
Nice.
Yeah, see, she also ventured into business with her own makeup line, Copycat Beauty, and made significant earnings from her OnlyFans account and her diverse income. She diversified income.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Income streams contributed to substantial net worth. And honestly, I really think the 20 million is underestimated. So,
that's revenue, not profit, not revenue.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. I mean, I know that her, and this is just according to ChatGPT, but I do recall coming across stories legitimately of just the windfall of money that she received right when she started OnlyFans. I mean, she was one of the most popular because she was 19 as well. So ridiculous.
Hey, I don't see my Hawk Tuah girl going down that route.
I do.
I think she's more pure.
I don't. I mean, she went viral basically talking about sloppy blowjobs.
We don't know that's what she was talking about.
That's 100% what she was talking about. That was the entire clip.
Allegations.
No, she spit on that thing. You know what I mean?
Denial.
Yeah, well, apparently you didn't know what she means when she said, "You know what I mean."
Not my sweetheart. Not her.
Holly, weigh in on this for me. I mean,
the Hawk Tuah girl is going to be the reason that we need, screens on mics for like the next 15 years.
Yes.
I was telling B last week, like if we go out on the street, it's like going to be a phenomenon now.
Yes.
People are going to start saying outlandish things more often to try to capitalize on that.
Yeah, especially if that's like how you win the lottery, but they're not also equating a couple factors. One, she was an attractive young woman, right? So that helps when it comes to viral and the internet and just followers in general. Trust me, we put out a lot of content and we are not pretty young women. And so that we don't have 100,000 followers. But there's definitely girls in Tucson that all they do is post the booty pic once a week and they have that amount and then some. So,
I think that we do have somebody that deserves the fame, though.
Who?
Tater Tammy.
Tater Tammy?
Yeah.
You going to share that video for me?
Is it playing? Let's see.
Tater Tammy. Let's see what Tater Tammy's all about.
Is it on there?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talking about Hawk Tuah. They ain't talking about Tater Tara.
That's Tammy. Oh, shit.
Everybody talking about Hawk Tuah. They ain't talking about Tater Tara.
Oh, it's nice. I'll give you one. I shared this yesterday on the stream, but I'll share it for you because you didn't get to see it. This is probably one of my favorite. This is from Barstool, and this is an example of what people are going to start doing now when they see man on the street. So when we do man on the street this weekend, and we should totally do it. This is how they'll react when we ask questions.
What's a move in bed that drives men crazy every time?
I feel like no, you gotta give him that.
No. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta warm it up like it's a fire.
No.
You gotta warm it up to a fire, and you gotta go.
Whoa! Don't.
You gotta take it like it's a rattlesnake, and you gotta bite its head.
Give me the mic.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Give me the mic. No.
You gotta take it. You gotta go.
What's a move in?
Sorry, I know it's hot. It's hot.
Gotta give him that corn on the cob.
Yeah. Oh, I got Sweden in the house again. Welcome back.
Hello, Sweden.
Hello, Sweden. All right.
Hawk talk.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it over there?
How do you say it?
Hawk talk.
Hawk talk?
Hawk talking.
Yeah.
Work, Hawk Tuah?
Yeah. Hawk talk.
I'm also going to show you something that's terrifying here. A
That
new
last
fear.
girl just needs to get off the Ozempic because clearly she's just hungry.
Yeah, that's
girl.
true. That's very true. But, she'll go viral as well. Again, you just be blonde, be cute, and then describe the cliche, dirty things in the bedroom that everyone has known about who has watched porn in the last 50 years, but then inadvertently made a catchphrase of it. And that's what it was. Branding. It was a catchphrase. That's why I say, like, you make up shit. Like, ignorance creates slang, right? And you could look at, and all due respect to, like, Snoop Dogg, but I think sometimes he gets so high and he just mispronounces a word or gives up on saying something, and that becomes slang. That's what the izzle came from. I say babuski, and I'm a big giant idiot, but it's catchy word.
It came out by accident. It was organic.
Apparently, the Youngs are saying that Ohio means cringe now.
I
And,
did hear
Ohio?
about
and I'm
that.
like,
Something
oh,
Ohio.
sweetie, I was born and raised in Ohio. We were cringe before you were born.
So they're just saying the entire state represents cringe now?
Yeah, like if they're trying to, just say something is like, ew, painful. They're just Ohio.
That's so Ohio.
Skibbity Ohio.
Skibbity Ohio.
Oh, wow. That's a burn on Ohio.
Brain rot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. Ohio has more astronauts than any other state because there's something about Ohio that makes you want to leave Earth.
No cap. No cap.
Don't say no cap. Come on.
What? Skibbity bop.
Okay. Well, you could bring back Skibbity I can't even say it.
doo.
You can bring that back.
Skibbity bop.
Yeah, because that's 1920s slang. And since we're in the 20s all over again, we need to look back at 100 years ago and then bring back that slang. Kids these days. Holly just told me that kids these days are saying Ohio for a slang as cringe. Like that's literally what they say when something is super cringy. And they don't even say cringe anymore.
Yeah, that's so Ohio to say Grinch.
That's way Ohio.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like Toledo, man. That's not just it's Toledo.
Let me ask you guys this. What do you think America's biggest fear is? So I have a whole list of different fears and the names of them. And I'm actually like educated on this list where I'm like, wow, I didn't even know about this. This is an actual fear. But this was a survey that was asked people, what are they most afraid of? What would you think would be on this list?
Poverty.
Poverty is I don't know if this is on the list, dude. You always
just me?
obscure with your.
That's not obscure. That's an actual fear. There's a study done. People are afraid of being poor. Yeah.
Give me the name. Look it up, and because every fear has a name. I'll give you an example.
Oh.
Okay.
Povertitis.
This one was on the list. This is like one of the most common phobias in the U.S. is trypophobia.
Holes.
Yes, dude.
What?
Holes.
Holes? Well, valid.
It's the fear of small holes or bumps clustered together. And, and those who have it find foods like honeycomb and Swiss cheese and objects like sponges disgusting. And Swiss cheese is delicious. Do you have this fear, Holly?
I do not, but I have gotten like ripped on the internet for posting a picture that had holes on it. And they're like, you didn't put a content warning up.
Content warning? That's crazy.
What? I also got in trouble for posting a picture of butterflies once without a content warning.
What is the
wow.
And then what? Just on YouTube or something or Instagram? Yeah. Oh, what was the fear or the content warning for a butterfly? You think that's a peaceful image where people are like, what's safer than a butterfly?
Somebody's dad was murdered by a caterpillar.
Well, that's a caterpillar phobia, not a butterfly. Still. Yeah. I mean, a butterfly is basically a caterpillar on parole. It's a changed man. What, agoraphobia? You know what that is?
Open spaces, right?
It's a fear of leaving an environment known to be safe. So, yeah.
The Shire.
This affects an estimated 1.7% of the U.S. population. Often people who have it become homebound because they're afraid to leave their house. Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty much common.
Uber Eats is raking it in.
Yeah. Misophonia, the severe aversion of chewing, swallowing, or heavy breathing. You know this too. Yeah. Do you have all the phobias?
No, but I know a lot of neurodivergent people.
Yeah. Comes with the territory.
I do improv. I know a lot of neurodivergent people.
That's true. They don't have an improv phobia though, huh? Let's see. Amentophobia. This one should be a common.
Say it again. Amentophobia? Ementophobia.
Yeah, ementophobia.
Fear of throwing up.
Yes.
What?
Jesus, are we playing it like
Jeopardy?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let me change my bed music
What
here,
is throwing
Brainiac.
up?
This is another reason why, you want to see the hilarious Holly Hilton live at Lady Bits Saturday at the screening room. Turns out she's brilliant, and brilliant people create good comedy. Where's this game? Yeah, I got it right here. Okay. We know what claustrophobia is, of course. What about acrophobia?
Oh, that's fear of heights, right?
That is correct.
Acrobat.
Yes, absolutely. The fear of heights that could be incredibly disorienting. I mean, as I get older, because when you get closer to death, the more you fear it. I developed a fear of heights, and I remember I was even just in my late 20s going to the Eiffel Tower at the Hotel Paris in Las Vegas. So not as tall as the actual Eiffel Tower, and going up to the top there, and it's a fully enclosed space, like completely safe. You couldn't jump off this thing if you wanted to.
Right.
Terrified, dizzy, thought I was going to just pass out just for being up that high.
I didn't realize I had that fear either until I went to New York a few years back, and they had, I think it was the Edge Tower or whatever, that has the transparent bottom on the top of the sky. I was like, I could do that. And I look, I'm like, no, I can't.
Isn't that crazy?
No, I can't do this.
I know. And you always see people standing on, in pictures, but, it's a different experience when you're there in person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to do it too. What about you?
I went ziplining in the Philippines, and it was like this huge, very high zip line off a mountain down through the jungle. And I did it like 4 times because it was like $5 the first time and $1 each additional time. And I was just like,
damn,
this is amazing. And I want to do this forever. I feel like Superman flying through the air. It's amazing. So,
but that's after the first one, you're over that fear. Leading up to doing that first one, were you terrified at all? Or?
Not really, because I was so tied up.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, even if I slam into a mountain, I'm
Yeah, it's safe. You're
You're
like,
gonna find all my parts.
I spent $5. There's no way they can accidentally kill me. It checks out. It's $5 safety.
I once chartered a helicopter in Tennessee with pocket change. I don't think you should be able to do that, but I chartered a
jeez.
helicopter for like $26.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
That was like an Uber helicopter, dude.
pretty much.
Yeah. Well, look at you. I mean, I got to follow you for more life hacks, Holly. I mean, all these adventures you're going on, I always just scoff at because I'm like, never in a million years.
I'll
But I
get you
didn't
to
know.
Nashville in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
And $17. Like, what? I know a guy who knows a guy. As long as you're not upset that guy who's flying the helicopter is on meth, because that's got to be a guarantee. That's got to be a guarantee. A Tennessee helicopter pilot that's going to fly you with pocket change sounds
You
methy.
know he has a cowboy hat too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll give you a couple more of these fears here on the podcast broadcast, including the one that ironically has the longest name out of all the phobias. And what it means is the irony part. So you can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. More with the Brainiac, Holly Hilton, right after these words. Rock 1251 KFMA. Yeah. I mean, you're blowing my mind here, Holly. We all know what
What do you know?
Yeah, we all know what arachnophobia is, which I assumed would be like the the biggest fear in America, but it's actually the 8th on the list as far as fears.
Really?
And most common. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know that movie had a lot to do with it when that came out back in the day.
Yeah.
And then also watching those Maury episodes with all the fears.
Yeah.
I learned about all of them. Like, I didn't know people were afraid of mustard until that lady started screaming.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's legit. I watched the challenge and there was a contestant there who was afraid of ketchup. She had to get some like
legit.
Legit.
Yeah.
So much so that there was a prank that they did on her where they set up spy status and they covered one of those like workout balls, medicine balls with ketchup on the second patio. They lured her outside and then they threw it at her, right? And this is only described. You won't see the footage of this anywhere because of the reaction that she had was essentially that of Carrie. But it hit her in the back and splattered her. First she laughed and then she started smelling the ketchup and then went into full-blown shock. And the way it was described, it was like a medical emergency. That when she realized that it was ketchup. And of course, at first they're all cracking up because this was like an awesome prank of a bunch of like frat bros. Right. And then they realized they almost killed their friend.
That is not how to do exposure therapy.
Yeah.
I know.
The Seinfeld used to have a chunk about the top 2 fears at the time were fear of public speaking and fear of death.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, that means, and there's more people afraid of public speaking than afraid of death. He's like, that means if you're at a funeral, you're better off being in the one in the box than giving the eulogy.
Yeah, and that's a fact. And honestly, and Powers used to bring this up all the time too, because it gives us the position to have these kind of MC gigs and a career in public speaking, because you're one of the few that doesn't have that fear of going up in front of a group of people and sound like an idiot. I mean, it's what I do for a living, you know? And I'll be honest with you, like even doing the Roadrunners thing and getting in front of a crowd, even it doesn't matter how many people there. They could be fully packed and everything. They just hand me the microphone, like whatever. I'm just gonna do this real quick, and I'll flub, I'll mess up, and not even sweat it for a second. Like, well,
it's a mindset. You switch the gears and public speaking.
But doing stand up is a different beast. Have you ever tried stand up, Rico?
Oh God, dude, it was terrifying. Like probably 15 years ago, I think in Tempe, I tried an open mic night, not prepared.
Yeah,
I think I did it twice. It was just like so mortifying.
At the Improv?
No, it was like local open mic stuff.
Okay, so it wasn't even on a bigger stage.
No.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, you were working at the Improv when I attempted stand up for the first 6 times at the Adam Carolla show, and I did it 6 times, and it was terrifying. And I bombed and got yelled at, and and then did it again. Like I didn't stop. They kept telling me stop, and I'm like, okay, I'll stop. And then I go up there and I do it again. They're like, I just fucking told you to stop. You're like, you're right. I won't do it again. And the next night, I did it again. They're like, hey,
God.
I said stop. You're right, absolutely right. Won't do it again. Did it again, and I did that again. I say 6, but it was actually 8, because they added a day, I think. So it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, that was my first time.
Did they do the music play up for you? Like trying to drown you out with the music?
No, they were flashing the red light like
Red
it was
light.
SOS, dude. like I was at a rave. I was like, oh, cool.
That's
I did.
That's why you got to get a cruise gig, because where are they going to go?
That's right. Have you worked cruise gig?
I have not. I have not, but
Would you? Would you like to?
I don't
I
know how
hate cruises, but-
I don't know how well I would handle water.
See,
I'm
saying.
not afraid of water. I just think that
I don't know. It's a thing. You won't have to see the water if you stay inside. Lindsay says, I have arachnophobic tendencies. Certain spiders, like wolf spiders, tarantulas, huntsmen, any spider in Australia. Speaking of
everything in Australia.
Yeah. Speaking of tarantulas, did you see the GOP candidate who got into a fight with her tenant and threw a tarantula at her?
What?
Yes. This was during an argument. And this story is fascinating because a couple things. There's first off a political connection to it, and she's hot. And then it came out that she was an escort, and so she didn't.
Story keeps getting better.
Yes, dude.
That's funny.
There's so much to unpack here. But basically, her name's Marissa Simonetti, and she's running for a seat on the county board as the GOP candidate. She's 30 years old. Okay, and she was charged with 5th-degree assault on a woman. And that woman was actually renting a room in her house. The alleged victim tells authorities that she threw a live tarantula at her amongst various other junk and described what she described as a scary encounter. Let's see. I'm going to pull this up here.
Poor tarantula.
Yeah. Here is, I'm going to show you the mugshot. This is a pretty mugshot. Keep in mind. Let's see. Of the woman.
She's crazy. She throws spiders.
Well, yeah.
She's a spider thrower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Those eyes.
Yeah, she got crazy eyes for sure. All right. As it says here, this reporter talked to the Hennepin County Board candidate, Marissa Simonetti, after she was released from jail this morning on 5th-degree assault charges. She said the alleged victim is a female squatter who won't leave her basement at her home. So she went crazy, threw a bunch of shit. And then here's some of the stuff. Right?
She went full Home Alone.
She went full Home Alone, and she said that she was inspired by Home Alone. She literally said that. She went full Home Alone. She chose to go full Home Alone, and of course, this was all bad press. But then, as this is all breaking out, and they're figuring out there's the tarantula in question. While this is all happening, like this is her leaving. Then it comes out that she actually was an escort. And then instead of denying an escort,
Can we talk a little bit
she
about
doubled down and said, hey, I got to provide for my family. It is what it is.
These spiders is expensive.
Yeah. But obviously being a GOP candidate is against the, some of the talking points that they stand on. So it's a lot of confusion. The GOP has went and said that they do not condone or endorse her and their values. She doesn't represent their values. On the other hand, they're also like, but she did represent my Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a client. I won't publicly endorse those values, but I will give her my credit card information.
She's a private businesswoman.
I support her right to choose spiders.
Yes. And go home alone.
Yeah.
Should
we've got to stop thinking that Christmas movies are documentaries. There's enough true crime out there. Just get into a true crime podcast. You don't need to take your inspiration from Macaulay Culkin.
That's very true. That's true. And
Hughes movies.
You should never go full Home Alone because there have been videos that have shown and documented that about 90% of the things that Kevin McAllister did would kill a grown man. 90%. There's only 10% like throwing the spider that won't kill somebody.
Right.
But go ahead and if you like tie a paint can to an end of a rope and throw that over the edge.
Right in the temple.
Yeah. That head's exploding. It's done.
Arson with flamethrowers inside the house on a human skull.
Yeah.
Dead.
Falling down icy concrete stairs, straight down.
A
dead.
brick to the face.
Brick to the face. Dead, dude. Yeah.
Kid's a murderer.
90%. Yeah. Over and over again.
So never go full Home Alone.
Yeah. That's a
You're a
beef
Florida escort.
Yeah. And it's not Florida though.
Oh, she's not Florida. My bad.
Yeah.
Look at me assuming.
I know. It's a safe assumption, and I understand.
It would never happen in Tucson. You know why? No basements.
That's true. That's very true.
No basement squatters. If you don't have a basement,
where are they going to squat?
That's true. Yeah, you're
it's
absolutely
too hot.
right. I know I had more information on this woman too,
Too
which
hot
was
to squat.
fantastic. Because I was reading up on her in the Daily Mail too, and she was all over the place as far as articles are concerned. Another thing that I talked about yesterday that you missed, that when I was opening up the show, or I woke up yesterday morning, I went to Twitter and Tuah. So I clicked on Tuah. The first thing I saw was a video of a prisoner having sex with a hot prison guard.
Oh, yeah, the Brazilian one.
It was in the UK.
No, I think it was okay. Continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's 100% in the UK because I did this story on the air. I'll recap it real quick. Rock 102.1 KFMA. And I might not have said this on the air as I talked about this, but yesterday I was on Twitter just when I woke up in the morning to, prep for the show. And I click on the Tuah trending. And the first thing that shows up was 2 videos side by side, same post. And it was a prisoner having sex with a prison guard. And inside a prison cell with another prisoner filming it and smoking at the same time. And there was a lot of different takeaways from this because I was like, wait a second, because initially you're like, that sounds like it's staged, not real, like a fantasy. But I'm like, wait, this looks like a really accurate like prison cell. This looks like a prison cell. They got accents. What I did notice is they had a shoe rack and very nice shoes. And so UK prisons, did you know that you could rock Jordans inside a UK prison? You can.
I would assume Adidas, but yeah, hell yeah.
No, those shoes are nicer than the shoes that we rock, dude. So prisoners have better footwear than we do in the UK.
Of course they do.
And yeah, so the guy filming was super like in there and hands on, and I think he's smoking a blunt while it's happening. And I was just like, this is odd, right? It was a weird porn to start off the day on Twitter, but thank you, Twitter. And I didn't think anything of it because I didn't necessarily think it was 100% legit. But it turns out it was 100% legit. In fact, actually, that woman, that went viral almost immediately. And that woman got fired the same day. And she was the prison guard, the female prison guard in the male's prison. And I feel like whoever hired her, she needs to get fired too because she is way too hot, dude. Way too hot.
A Brazilian model.
Yeah, she looked like a Brazilian model, but she was in the UK.
And a prison guard.
Yeah, and a prison guard. And of course, that's how she's going to like protect and serve. She leaned in on the serve. And I don't think they wore protection. So it was just 100% serve. No protection.
What was even worse about reading that story online too, that I saw the other trending ones that related events, all the different female prison guards that have actually let out their the prisoners because they fell in love.
Yeah.
And they ran away.
It happens so often.
So many times.
No, and it happens all the time. Yeah. And I'll tell you 2 stories real quick. My buddy Chris, Venezia. He passed away. Rest in peace, Chris. Chris had an affair with one of his female prison guards. He was in prison, over and over again. And she loved him. Would put money on his books, do all these sexual things in prison. It didn't stop even after he got out of prison. And then another story, when I was in jail. Okay, so I was in jail when I was 18 and for weed. And while you're there, especially at a young age and you're just all jacked up on testosterone, and hormones, there was a prison guard there she was a large lady. She was like 400 pounds. She was just all round, right? I fell in love with her so hard. My heart would beat faster when she would walk by. I was in lockdown and I would imagine just like putting my member through the bars and like the whole 9, dude. Like I had such... I felt
you drew cartoons in the cell. You're just like, oh,
yeah. Because after like 30 days of not seeing any women, and then seeing the first woman, be like, you're the one. You're my soulmate.
Please get me out of here.
This is how people accidentally end up joining ISIS.
Is that how? Well, luckily I escaped ISIS that round, but
luckily,
yeah. Back to the prison guard in question. She was arrested on that day with quote unquote suspicion of misconduct. So the Tuah girl will go viral and be famous. This lady actually Tuah gets arrested for suspicion of misconduct. Not fair.
Not fair at all.
That's
no justice in this country.
That's right. All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on to podcast broadcast, youtube.com/beefvegan. Back with your beef tip after music from Blink-182 on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Yeah, we got super dirty there.
That's just so funny. 18-year-old beef just licking his lips.
Oh my God. And I was in lockdown. This is when I was in county in the submarine cells, right? So I was a 2-man lockdown cell. And the guy who was my cellmate actually was in there for murder. That's a fun fact. But at my cell, I lucked out in this run because I had my own shower in there. So, I'd be able to spank it. But it doesn't matter. No matter how much I'd, be in the shower, letting the poison out, I still fell in love with this woman. And she would walk by, and there's nothing that, like,
clank.
Yeah,
clank,
there's nothing physically with my manhood wouldn't make a dent. wouldn't even get. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't even get to the entrance. You know what I mean? It's just like, but
thank you.
yeah, but like she had the biggest ass I've ever seen in my life, and she would just walk by and was just like, and I'm like, hey, like I don't know, and I know that I wasn't alone in this situation. I'm pretty sure 80% of the dudes in there
You got
all
mad at
fell in
them?
love with this
She's
woman.
mine.
Yeah, like I was gonna
Hey.
shank a dude.
Yeah.
For looking at my ladies.
Don't look at Rosie.
Statistically, 90%.
Yeah.
And then the one guy is like, pass.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. That one
funny.
guy rather drop soap.
So that's
But-
another question too, real quick to loop back on something completely not funny. The
Okay.
whole thing with you getting paired up with somebody, they don't do it according to like your level of charges.
No.
That's insane.
No, yeah, I know. It was
Crazy
it was an odd thing too because because I was in there for an ounce of weed and this
Right.
guy was in there for a manslaughter and murders, but it wasn't like serial killing murderers, so that's good.
That's
yeah.
a plus.
Yeah, they don't care. The second time I went into a lockdown situation was the one where it was an 8-man cell. And this is all when I was 18. So right when I turned 18, I get blessed with the birthday present of a felony. And I go in and out of jail. I was at the peak of fucking up. My family dissolved, had no support. And, I kept getting chances, kept messing those chances up, kept getting sent back. And so that one lockdown situation where it was an 8-man pod, I go in there, they open up the cell. And this is like it's like a submarine, right? The way they do it is downtown county jail up in Phoenix. So it's these steel hallways, and then a steel door opens up. 7 Mexican dudes like kind of pop out, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? We're gonna kill this guy." Blah blah blah. This gringo, because apparently the white guy that was the cellmate before me snitched on them, so they were extra mad at whites, And then I'm coming in, this little white kid, ready to get murdered. So I'm just like, at that point, my mentality. I just kind of gave up. I'm like, whatever, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Fuck it.
Oh, so you didn't pull the Jackie Chan in every movie? Like, I don't want trouble. A misunderstanding.
No,
Hashtag not all Caucasians.
no. What happened was, I wasn't there to defend Caucasians. I'm just like, okay,
Like, whatever.
they're gonna shut the door and murder me, so I'm gonna be murdered. So let's just prepare for that, right?
Dreaming of the security lady. Like on the way out, like, I love you.
I don't want to be murdered with a boner. But so when I got in there, they shut the door and they were nice enough to be like, okay, what are you in here for? And I'm like, I give my story and they're like, oh, that's fucked up, right? Because the reason why me being in jail in that situation, I was 17 when I got caught with weed. They waited till I was 18. The whole thing was fun.
Jeez.
And so they're like, okay, so here's the deal. If you want to, this is our house. If you want to live in our house, we got to jump you in. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. That's the rules. And they're like, oh, you down? Oh, he's down. Look, he's down. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is there a plan B? Yeah.
Right.
Is there like, excuse me, actually, this house, stipulates that I do not need to be jumped in, good sir. No, I have no fucking choice. Dude. 7 of them, I'm in there 24/7 with them for the next 30 days. So that's your house. That's your house rules. All right. I guess I'm abiding by the rules. So then I stood up and I'm like, well, so when are you going to jump me? And as soon as I said that, Pena, I remember his name. He was about 5'8", stocky ass construction worker, dude. Right. He fucking just punches me in the middle of the back as hard as he could. Right now that I'm glad that was my first punch.
Yeah.
Because when he hit me and I didn't see it coming, it completely knocked the wind out from me. And so I couldn't breathe at all. And so these guys just start jumping on me like I'm a fucking piñata. No.
Hey, but it paints a good picture.
Yeah, okay. So no race attended there. It's just, it is what it is. They start beating the shit out of me. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to die. And I want to scream help. I want to cry for help. I want to scream out for my mom. I want to make a lot of noise talking about how I am dying.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't make a peep because I couldn't breathe. And they're just beating the shit out of me.
Jeez.
When they were done, they're just like, fuck, Holmes, you're tough. Because I couldn't make any noise.
Convulsing.
Like,
damn, dude, he's still breathing.
Thanks. So can I be in your house now?
He looks like a grape.
Yeah. And that's what happened. So
damn.
I know.
Anyway, lady bits this weekend, huh?
Yeah, lady bits. In fact, actually, I gotta cut off this song because it's gonna take too much time, and now I'm speaking with a Mexican accent.
They beat it into you. Guys had left.
Hey, you can't take that away from me, Holmes. I was jumped in. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, hey, this guy doesn't earn his Mexican accent, fuck you. You get jumped by 7 dudes and tell me you can't speak how you want.
Get back on the radio, Colonel.
Odele. All right, here we go. I have to interrupt this song, and I apologize for stopping a song early, but we're almost out of time. And I do want to thank our in-studio guest here on the podcast broadcast, who is going to be part of a fantastic lineup this Saturday at the Screening Room. It's the return of Lady Bits, hosted by the hilarious comedian Jen Blanco. Holly Hilton is going to be on the stage. Always hilarious, always giving a good time. And Holly, why don't you give listeners out there ways they can check you out and follow you and get tickets for this show?
Okay, so the tickets are available at eventbrite.com/ladybits Tucson. $10. You can also buy tickets at the door, but if you buy them online, that secures your spot and it makes it look good for us.
That's right.
And there's a lot of great comics that are going to be on the bill besides Jen and myself. We've got some great women coming down from Phoenix. We got Wild Child. I'm excited to see her.
Yeah.
And when I'm not doing Lady Bits, you can see me at Tucson Improv Movement, either doing improv or doing our monthly all-female stand-up show there called Femdrop that I co-produce with Amelia Gabusi.
Yes, and then people get more information on those shows at what? TucsonImprovMovement.com?
TucsonImprov.com.
TucsonImprov.com. Excellent.
And if you just need more of me, I'm Slack Furno on all the socials.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll post some videos and tag you up as well. Thank you again for coming in. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Tomorrow morning, we're going to do Be Spirit Envy, the grand finale, brought to you by Rustic's Barbershop. So make sure you tune in then. And of course, we'll continue to give out tickets for Slash. But that's all the time that we have for the show today. Don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/bevegan. But Robin Nash is up next. Keep it right here on Rock 102.1. Drive safe, ride safe. And as always, rock local. Olé.
When you wish upon a side of beef, you will come and end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.
Lady Bits, if you